So, as the title says, this is what I learned since being a bouncer for the U&I bar, or the U&I Lounge as it's formerly known. Just, things that I've kind of noticed, learned, observed, etc., ever since becoming a bouncer. Every Friday from 8 p.m. until 2 a.m., depending on how busy it is, of course. Sometimes I'm lit out earlier, sometimes I'm not. But I'm sure once it's spring and summertime, it'll be every Friday and Saturday, 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. until 2 a.m. But anyways, that out of the way. Things that I've learned, and I've been doing this now at the U&I for a good couple months actually. And just in that short amount of time, it's made me just realize a lot of stuff. And because of the fact that I am, sitting on a stool in the front area, watching people essentially, because there's nothing else to do unless you're checking IDs or throwing somebody out, which rarely happens because it's pretty chill, area. I will say that there's a lot of behind the scenes things that people don't know about. That there's a lot that goes into any business, and this is no exception. I have to organize bottles and to help take out the trash and close down, all sorts of other stuff like that. It's not just sitting on a stool only and checking IDs or throwing people out. No, there's a lot more that goes into it. So that's what I gotta separate them from. Avalanche, because this thing, how it's set up. Oh, I did. Completely empty now. And then I take this, once it's full, throw away the cans over here, Holy Red Bull. And then Cox goes there, and the other one goes there. But, nonetheless, it's helped me realize kind of, the background operations of what a bar does and whatnot. But also, it's just one of those things where I get to just see humans at their worst, or best, sometimes. So the first thing that I noticed is a lot of people go to the U&I bar after they get married. For some reason, I don't know if it's because the U&I Lounge is the only thing open at late night, for a restaurant/bar area, because the kitchen is open until sometime after midnight. I'm not exactly sure. I don't really pay attention to that, but I know it's sometime after midnight that they stop serving food. And of course, they serve alcohol, of course, until literally closing. So, I don't know. It shocks me that people would choose a bar, of all places, to go to after you get married. Now, I'm not hating on the bar itself. I'm not hating on the U&I Lounge or anything like that, but the people that do, post-marriage head out to the U&I Lounge, why? Why? Of all places to go after you get married, you choose a bar? I mean, we have people that are still in their wedding attire. Men in their suits, females in their wedding dress and high heels and caked on makeup and the whole 10 yards. I'm not kidding. It's like they literally just got married or something and immediately went to the U&I Lounge. Why? Have a little bit of self-respect. A bar? A bar? What the fuck? I don't know. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I mean, people do whatever they're gonna do. At the end of the day, I don't really give a fuck, but it's just my inquisitive mind is curious as to know why. It just doesn't seem logical to me. I mean, maybe I'm just too old school and I have a thing for having self-respect, respect for myself and for the person I just married. But the last place I would want to go is a fucking bar after I get married, as a post-celebrational location. I'd want to go somewhere better or classier or anywhere but a bar. Fucking hell. Like, to a nice restaurant or, I don't know, to a concert or something that isn't a bar. I don't know, it's just really, really confusing to me. I don't understand it. I don't know why, but there you go. That is definitely one of my number one top what the fucks when it comes to the bar scene ever since becoming a bouncer. Anyway, okay, so another thing that I learned was that a lot of people don't acknowledge the bouncer. At least Traverse City. We'll have people, or people that are either definitely looking too young or what have you, that just walks on the bar, right on, or try to do so, right on past me. It's like, you see someone sitting on a stool, they're not eating, they're not drinking, but yet you, who should know, especially you young ones who definitely look like you're too young to be there, think you can just walk on by? Are you just too stupid or unaware to what, a bouncer looks like? Like for most places, either they're standing in front or sitting on a stool. It's pretty common knowledge where a bouncer would be, what it would look like, etc., etc., because no one else sits on the stool. That stool is specifically there for a employee such as a bouncer to sit on. So when you look at a bouncer who's sitting on a stool and just think, oh, I'm too sexy, I'm too hot to be ID'd, you're delusional, and you're stupid, and you lack self-awareness. Literally, a bouncer's job is to check IDs. If you do not look blatantly obvious of being 35 or older, you get ID'd. You should know if you look under 35. At least be that self-aware, especially in this narcissistic selfie culture that we all live in nowadays. You should be well aware of how young you look. And if you're under 35, and especially if you look like you're under 35, you're gonna get ID'd. So if you think you're just gonna walk on by like some hotty toddy, I'm too good, you're in for a surprise, let me tell you. You're not too hot to be ID'd. You're not too young to be ID'd. In some cases, there are people that are over 35 that still look like they're too young. So even if you are 35 and older, there's a chance that you will be ID'd. Now, if you're a polite person or someone who is overall, decent, you will go up to the bouncer and already be willing to pull out your ID and all that, rather than try to walk past like some arrogant bitch. Instead, if you really want to be, showing of good favor or whatever, go up to the person sitting on the stool and just show them your ID, or at least start to pull it out and show a willingness to cooperate. That goes a long way. People that do that I remember a lot more than the assholes that think they're too good to be ID'd and try to walk by. Because what'll happen is next time I see you, you won't have to do it. I'll wave you off. There you go. You just go in. You don't have to show me. I remember you. You're a cool person. I like you. You know, you get a repertoire with the people that work there. And if you want in, you got to get past the bouncer first. And if the bouncer was like, well, fuck you, good luck. But I'm a fair guy, I understand that not everyone is self-aware and smart enough to know the ins and outs of things. So I forgive a lot of people that do that. But nonetheless, it's just something that I noticed, that a lot of people, especially females, think they're either too hot, too pretty, too good to be ID'd, and they think they can just walk by. That's pretty stupid. That shouldn't be a thing. Stop doing that. And likewise with guys, they, especially since, my size isn't, bulky and whatever, they think, oh, I'm too big and bad, I can just walk by him. Well, let me tell you what, you're just an average everyday guy. I know what the fuck I'm doing. And when it comes right down to it, at the end of the day, whether you're drunk or not, I have you outmatched tenfold, regardless of how big you are. There's a saying that's completely relevant here. Lifting weights doesn't teach you how to fight. Likewise, just because you're big, whether you're fat, you're muscular, or you're tall, doesn't mean jack shit. In fact, it makes it easier for me to destroy you. It's more of you to grab onto. It's more of you to have fun with. It's the smaller, faster guys that are actually more of a problem to experienced fighters, because they can move fast and all that good shit. The agility factor comes into play. Where big, bulky guys, that's actually makes you guys a lot easier. But anyway, that said, I see those two things happen. Guys that think they're too big and bad to be ID'd and think they can just walk past me because I'm smaller or whatever. And for a surprise. But nonetheless, I've noticed a lot of that. But I will shout out to the people who will actually go into the bar and go right to the bouncer and start to pull out their ID, because 9 times out of 10, I'll just wave them off, because I'm very good with my observance, and I'll recognize that they're clearly older than 21, and I'll be like, you're all good. You're being polite, you're being cool, just get on in there, that type of thing. But I'll thoroughly inspect the ID of those who think they can just walk past me, though. On that note, too, I notice the behavior of individuals that go to the bar, and even more so of people who are regulars at the bar at the U&I Lounge. A lot of people are actually pretty chill, there are quite a few regulars there that I actually enjoy. One of which who shares the same name as me, so that's pretty cool. I'm just like, hey, But unfortunately, people get drunk and they start to really show their, I guess you'd say, undisciplined side of themselves. And I get to see a lot of just behavior that makes me roll my eyes. We'll have guys like, literally like grabbing ass and out in public, like they're not in a public environment or something like that, and I'm just like, yeah, you're pathetic, because they're trying to show some sort of male dominance or something, like, oh yeah, I have this piece of ass here and I'm squeezing her ass in front of everybody, I'm so cool. I see that a lot. Basically a guy making claim to his territory or property, however you want to call it, aka his girl. He's letting the rest of the bar know, oh, this is my girl, yeah. So I see that a lot. See a lot of the women being loud and obnoxious. I remember actually it was just last Friday, there was this group of females and they would scream at the top of their lungs like bloody fucking murder when they successfully got a dart on the dartboard. Like, we're talking full on fucking scream. And of course all her other female friends would also join in this, and that shit catches my attention because I'm thinking something's happening, so I get on the alert like I'm gonna have to do something. That's probably not something you want to be doing. You don't want to bring unnecessary attention to yourself like that. And I get it, you know, most of the time y'all are drunk, you're not fucking even caring about anything other than yourselves because you are the only one who exists in the world type thinking. But, hey, just putting that out there. So those are just some of the things that I've noticed. But I'll have you finish it off. Anyway, until next time.